Hello, welcome to Spindle City Straight Talk. I'm Chip,
And I'm CJ.
and it is Monday in the Riv, and I know I'm in a different. I put the computer in a different part of the room, so it's got a different. You got a different view.
Yeah, because I can see the window on the side of you.
Yeah, well, it's better for the. I don't know. It's just better. It's easier for me. I'm moving the bookcase and stuff. So
Yeah, but you're sitting by a window. One of our disgruntled viewers may come by and take a pot shot.
well, good. Well, yeah, we got a lot. It is Monday in the Riv, and we've got a lot to talk about. But let me begin first. Because we talk a lot on this show, and we talked a lot about the vote, and I think it's really important. It's too late for this election. I mean, they're going to have a recount, but the reality is, 11,000 people is disgusting. And I don't know what you need to motivate these people to vote, but I'm going to give them another reason. And I'm being rhetorical here because the people who watch our show actually pay attention. Uh, so, but one of the reasons that people don't vote is that they're disgusted with government and the lies and the way government operates, but they should be infuriated and vote. So I'm going to give you something. Something just broke over the now that Nancy Pelosi, because she's the poster child for a Democrat political tick that now has said she's not going to run again, and they exist in the other party too. But this stat just came out. This is absolutely horrifying. Nancy Pelosi between 1987 and 2025 outperformed the Dow in investments by 17,000%. Did you hear what I just said, CJ?
I did hear you.
17,000% more profit than the Dow. Her net worth is now $413 million. This is what they get. They don't go to Washington to serve us. They want power and they want access.
Money.
Access. Insider trading. 17,000% more than the Dow. All these genius investors that work in the stock exchanges, she outperformed them 17,000%. That 14 her net worth. What does a senator make? They don't make a lot. I mean, they make a lot compared to Fall River, obviously, and they get a lot of freebies. But to come up with a net worth of $413 million is just insane. I mean, you want why you should vote, why they should be thrown out. Nobody should serve 39 years in Washington. I'm sorry. You want to serve 39 years on the police department, the fire department, doing something? Yeah. $413 million. While San Francisco is, people are sleeping on the streets. It's a disaster. We all know what they've done. And same thing with Newsom. But this is just a classic example of why we got to throw these. I don't care what party. They got to get thrown out
regularly
every other election.
That's it.
I mean, it's that simple. See, I mean, we can't let these people stay up there. I mean, this is crazy. This is insane. You look at her, and she's not the only one, obviously, but she obviously is the flagship. And who is the accessories before, during, and after the fact? The voters that don't come out, and secondly, the news media. Did you see the other thing that broke this weekend? CBS did it again. The UK version of the CBS, they're being sued again. The
Imagine that.
one of the president of the UK division is resigning because guess what they did? This is what I love about Democrats. No matter what kind of pablum you feed them, they believe it. This is why it's dangerous to be a Democrat, and you can't be one if you have a functional brain cell. You remember, everybody remembers January 6th, and they're still talking about January 6th. They don't talk about the 500 plus riots they had everywhere else. But the Democrats love to talk about it. They've already hammered Stephanopoulos, and now this guy, they edited a documentary they ran that cut out and edited out when Trump said, I want you all to go peacefully and patriotically down. And they just put fight, fight, fight. They stuck that in there. So in other words, now that's what they wanted to fuel the fire. Fight, fight, fight. Sent them down there and he incited an insurrection. No, he didn't. They actually took that out because they hate Trump. And they do that all the time to Republicans. And on Democrats, they do just the opposite. Kamala Harris shit all over herself during an interview. And what do? They edit the interview. They added things. They subtracted things. And even with that, they couldn't make it look coherent. But it would have been a bigger disaster than the Biden debate, letting word salad Kamala actually show what she actually said. This is why there's no confidence in the media. They are propagandists. And the Democrats, unfortunately, people with Democrats, they believe everything they say like it's gospel. Well, again, this guy admitted he did it, and he's resigned. 5 years later, after he did it. But he's going to, this is the whole problem. This is why we got to get rid of these people every couple of years. It's absolutely nuts. Okay, let me put that up, Stevie. I don't know what happened to CJ. He must have had an issue we had to get up for. Yeah. And now she said she was begging for it. And the media will play that piece without saying she's lying. They'll say it like it's a positive. You see, it's Trump's fault again. She begged them for the National Guard, but he didn't send them. And this is the problem. This is why you just got to get rid of them. Listen, the media will stop doing this if we bounce these people. Hello, Alphonse. If we bounce these people 2 terms, that's it, like the president. 2 terms, bye. See you later, gone. Go back and earn a living. Don't stay up there like Nancy and accrue, I still can't believe it, $413 million. And I don't like to quote inaccurate numbers, but I don't know what a senator makes. So, Stevie, you're great at this. Google what the present day salary is. But we're going down. We're going back 39 years with Pelosi. So I think when she became a senator, they made like $1.25. That was the.
No, I don't think so.
I'm being facetious.
I know.
I'm being facetious, but I just wanted to know. I didn't look it up. I was reading that report from the school department, which we'll get into on the school thing. But I just had to bring that up because these people who never vote, God, doesn't this piss you off?
The annual salary for a U.S. senator is $174,000.
Okay. All right. Good. That's exactly what this. Oh, good. I asked Stevie to do it. He probably did it, but um,
The Senate majority and minority leaders earn a salary of 193 4.
okay. I'll tell you what. I'm going to give her. I'm going to give her a pay raise. I'm going to give her 200,000.
That works.
Okay. Okay. I give her $200,000.
And by the way, they recently denied themselves a cost of living increase.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Okay. I just did it. If she never spent a penny and put her entire salary in the bank, she would have earned in her tenure 7.8 million, which is just about 407 million or 406 million less than she's actually worth today. This is why they just can't. You can't ever let them stay up there. They get health care, and like now, the Democrats are all screaming about the health care. Now it's exposed. We all know they stopped everything. They were using it as leverage. They don't care about your health care. They don't care a bit about your health care. They get the best health care in the world for free, for life. And if they sit one day there, if their ass hits the seat in Washington, they
That's
got
it.
health care and a pension.
That's right. Plus, they collect their salary for the rest of their life.
That's right. Pension. You don't have to work 30 years. You got to work. You got to work till you're 65 or 70 to get Social Security. You got to work. You got to work 30, 32, 35 years. 32 actually for max in a public sector, in a mass. And these clowns can go up there for one day, and they get a pension for life.
That's it.
Say Kilby screwed up. He should have sucked up to somebody on a federal level. He has to go to the housing authority and work for a few years. He could have just went to Washington for one day.
That's right.
But I just had to get that in. And it just infuriates me when I see stuff like this. It just drives me absolutely crazy. How these things can actually happen. But it's there. And they can't refute it. And yeah, and everybody knew that. Go ahead. I had that up, CJ. But yeah, but it's amazing. It's like they got that's what's called. I think that's called political amnesia. They all suffer from that. They can instantaneously forget everything they did if it's going to hurt them politically. It's like, I never did that. I begged them. It's like Paul. I never said that high rents were good. And all those cronies, what do they do? They're like the media, mainstream media. They all run and say, Paul never said that. Paul never said that. Paul never said that. Of course he did. We know it. We saw him say it. It's just like now, supposedly, I guess he was on some show. I got a call from one of our viewers saying that he said that this is his last term and he knows the voters are not happy with him. Let me tell you something, Paul. I'm glad you prefaced that with the word voters because not enough people came out. But there are a lot more people angry at you than who are friendly with you. Every single person that you ever gave a pay raise, a job to, or made them millionaires. And there's another example of Pelosi on a small scale. We talk about the national scale. Why? Because it's the biggest. It's on steroids. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know, Jeff. I don't even, listen. They messed around during COVID so badly, intentionally, with the way ballots are handled, the mail-in ballots, the delaying. To me, this is a no-brainer. CJ voted mail-in ballots, hey, David, for years. I mean, there was a set of rules before that worked great, wasn't it, CJ?
Worked fine for me.
And there were a set of rules that had to be abided by, right?
That was it.
So, but the Democrats, again, they unraveled everything to their own advantage. Like now, they're trying to redistrict everything to take over the House, so they can stop Trump from trying to reduce crime, keep the borders closed, keep the CPI less than half, and go back to just impeaching Trump and spending money. See that? You got to believe it, CJ.
Oh no, I said it very clearly in the weekend flush. Okay, if you don't trust the government you have, all they're going to do in a recount is take those ballots and put them back through the machine.
Yeah.
If the ballots are missing, they're not going to get counted.
No,
Demand a full recount and compare the number of ballots with the number of check-ins, because we don't check them out anymore. I don't know what brilliant Democrat came up with that. For years, the system works fine. You checked in, you voted, you checked out, turned your ballot in. Was there a problem? Did you have a problem, Chip? Did you ever have a problem?
Never.
But we got to change it.
Because it's going to help them. We know that, CJ. I know that was a rhetorical question, but you're right. Look, you're right. A hand count. Every ballot should be looked at physically. You should challenge something. There might have been a smudge mark on Coogan's name that got counted as a complete fill-in.
Right.
I mean, you're right. I mean, even the recount process has been diluted so badly that you can't trust. Look, I mean, we're proving this. What we're talking about today, you can't trust them. Pelosi became a bazillionaire, and we said on the lowest scale, look at Paul. Paul couldn't even become a principal. Couldn't run a school. But now he's been running a city for 6 years, and he's getting a salary. It's going to make him virtually a few $1,000s short of being a millionaire in salary. So theoretically, this guy who got his job politically, virtually every job he ever got politically in the school department, no hanging chads. Yeah, that's going back, Stevie. He is not going to be a millionaire thanks to the taxpayers, because he retired from the school department with a very, very nice pension. I know he was making six figures because all the principals are making it, and the vice principal of Durfee, the largest school, makes a lot. Good, Boma. I'm glad to hear that. Yep, you have to observe. You're 100% right. You have to be there. You have to look at everything, and you have to have people there to challenge that have done it. And I think we had a conversation on it. This is why. This is ridiculous. But you look at Coogan. He's got a six-figure salary. He's got a six-figure pension. He can live comfortably in his Bobby townhouse on that pension. So he could have put that theoretically in the bank and become a millionaire and done virtually nothing. And he made all his friends millionaires. If you need more signatures, I'm sure you can get them. We got Jeffrey over here saying if you need any signatures, just tell us where you need us to go to get more signatures. But this is nuts. I mean, these people abuse. They just take a dump all over the people, and and I don't know why these people stay home. It's like you should run out of your house like your hair's on fire. That wouldn't work with me, but there wouldn't be there's not much of a fire load up here. But I don't know why they don't come. I don't know why they don't come out to the polls. And I'm sure right now, looking at I see a lot of comment. Actually, I got a friend of mine called. I would have jumped all over him if he didn't vote, but he doesn't live in the city anymore. And he said, I can't believe the election was that close. And I said, yeah, problem is, good. Well, that's good. But I said, I can guarantee you there's enough people to bounce Coogan that are sitting at home today saying, oh, if I would have known it was going to be this close, I would have gone and voted. Well, that's an excuse. That's not a reason. Sorry, And, I mean, I just had to get that in because, people, it's just, I don't know. But you talked about your flush. I got to get to your flush, CJ, because you talked about tomorrow is Veterans Day. And you know that on Veterans Day, I basically don't do much. But I just stay home and reflect. But you opened with, two great quotes, actually. On the battlefield, the military pledges to leave no soldier behind. As a nation, let our pledge that when they return home, we leave no veteran behind. And I wish that was true, but we all know the problem with the VA.
Yep.
We have 22 veterans a day committing suicide, and that's been like that for decades now. And we got these shit bums in Washington making hundreds of millions of dollars and pretending that they care about anything and letting these veterans sleep in the streets. Our own state reps, people, somebody run against them. They voted not to give preference to veterans for housing. Do you think that pisses me off? It does. VA, it's gotten better, but still needs a lot of work. And your closing comment, again, very appropriate about tomorrow. The bravery and courage required to serve does not assure a veteran's safe return home. Many of these veterans have faced unimaginable challenges and hardships, yet they continue to stand strong as symbols of resilience and strength. Yeah, and some of them, unfortunately, end their own lives. It is a national disgrace that a country that has spent this much money on scumbags that came into this country illegally, and we house them and feed them and give them health care and give them hotel rooms, especially in Massachusetts and Rhode Island and these blue states. That there's a veteran walking in the United States today that doesn't have a place to sleep, doesn't have enough food. It is a national disgrace.
But Jeff, if it's Monica, you're not going to get any change. You might actually get worse representation.
Yeah, what we need is somebody like you, Jeff, who is not a politician. We don't need somebody that's been involved in politics, has been a political tick for years. She was attached to one administration. We all know that. And She attaches herself to every administration that she can because she's like Paul Coogan. They're political ticks.
Exactly.
Their lives and their jobs are dependent on somebody giving them something. They're not earning it. They're not taking it.
Hell, from what I understand, she doesn't even show up to do her job. She's never at the office. Where is she?
Didn't we have somebody at BCTC that didn't show up for like...
Oh, yes, Kim.
months at a time.
Right. So much
Months.
so they moved her office into government center.
Yeah, so nobody complained because he never showed up to work and got to pay.
That's right.
This is what you get, people, when you don't show up. I'm talking to you guys, and you guys, I know you all vote, but I'm kind of just, I'm being, I'm just venting because it's just, to me, inconceivable how we got to where we are now. And we're looking now at this deficit, and it's not even, we haven't even looked at the tip of the iceberg. As a matter of fact, we got that report. I think we should do we should wait till, because we're already halfway through. I think we should wait till the next show to really go over it in depth. And because we got a report from the school department, and I know, CJ and I think we both agree that report was held till after the election, withheld.
Right.
And it was withheld intentionally.
Right.
Yeah, David said he hears that she's running for mayor. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. They want to keep the stranglehold on, but she won't win, I hope. If anybody runs against her, remember, a lot of people don't like her.
That's right.
A lot of people don't like her. Especially outside the North End. And even in the North End, a lot of people forget this very important fact, CJ, right?
For a lot of people, I think it's personal. It's not that I don't like her. I don't like her politics. There's a big difference.
Yeah, personally, I'm sorry. You're right. I didn't phrase that properly. So.
Right.
Yeah. Well, she's a propagandist for their political agenda and their get rich agenda. We know how much her husband is entrenched in what we've got here. But it's, the thing is, we don't need politicians. We need people who are going to work for the people. I don't know if you put this one up. Did you put this one up, CJ?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, but she lost Fall River the first time she ran against David Steinhoff.
Yep.
And Steinhoff got a lot of mud thrown at him. He was going through a divorce, which many people do, and it was very acrimonious. And they slung every bit of crap he had him. He didn't work the burbs. He lost because he didn't do Freetown.
And that was his problem. He thought Fall River was going to take it for him.
But he did. But he actually beat Carol Fiola in their own backyard in Fall River.
Exactly.
So, I mean, everybody thinks, oh, she's going to be a shoo-in. Not so fast. Not so fast. Then people just give up. They get in and they give up. And remember, didn't Allen win his first election by like 3 votes?
Something like that.
It was like in single digits.
Right.
I remember them down in the lobby of the government center counting those ballots.
Right.
By hand. So, I guess the moral of that story is you got to come out and vote. You can't keep allowing 10,000 people, 11,000, 12,000,
14,000.
14,000 at the most. I think that's the largest one Coogan ever got.
Right.
To run a city. You can't. You got to get in. It's like in Washington. They stayed. Look what happens when they stay places forever. I mean, listen, Eddie Lambert was a good politician. You can't take that away from him. We had our battles. Like I said, personally, I have nothing against Eddie. He was my neighbor for years. But politically, that's correct. Yeah, he was taking. Yeah, he was. That's exactly right, Steve. he was pulling down the signs and stuff. Yeah, they do that all the time. But this is exactly why you can't leave them in office for a zillion years. They just they don't care after a while. They go, I don't have to do anything. You know, maybe if somebody calls me, you know, I can do him a favor and then he'll get more votes for me. But I'm not really going to worry about the tax rate, the water fee, you know, the excise tax fees. Screw them, tax them to death. Who cares? I'm still going to get in. Yeah, people in the district will vote. Like I said, I think now I think they're going to be so angry in another year. After another year of Coogan is unimaginable. I'm just hoping you win it, but the recount. But we have to be pragmatic and say that chances, most of the time are not good in recounts. But people are going to be. I mean, all these things. Wait till we do this report on the next show. It is mind-boggling. And they intentionally withheld this report, like they intentionally misrepresent crime statistics. They intentionally withhold the information about lawsuits. They intentionally withhold everything, not only till after the election, they withhold them forever. And you're right, Stevie. Listen, Michelle Dion's been on us for a long time. CJ and I think been on longer. Since our first show, we've been talking about a type E government. Right, C?
Yes, we have.
We've been talking about Worcester and Cambridge and these places. Well, mostly Worcester at that time, but Cambridge and these other places that have a different form of government. I mean, listen, we've had some mayors that were okay to a degree. They all raised taxes too often, but in the old days when we had people that voted, they didn't do it often. But now we got a clown show for a mayor, and they raise taxes every year, and people don't come out to vote. I mean, we can't keep having a mayor running a city. We need somebody who's responsible. And then when he put us in a hole like this economically, you fire him. We fire him. We get the city council, and the people get up and say, get rid of this guy. If a city manager ever went up in front of a city council and said, I don't have the numbers, because he could be fired immediately. You're saying, well, right. What are you getting paid for?
Right. But I was watching social media. Cliff Ponte sent his plan, or what should happen, for a city manager. Although he wants what he said in his letter to the editor, Worcester. Worcester gave away all their authority as a city council.
Nah.
Okay? Cambridge did not.
That's right.
Okay? And you've got to look at that. Now, people have said, well, Ponte's no better than what we got now because Ponte just benefits himself, his business, and his family. And that's could be quite true. Could be quite true. Especially when you consider the fact, as was said by somebody, I believe it was James, they talk out of one side of their face and then vote the other way. They don't give you proper representation. And you wonder why. Because you vote them back in. Why do you vote them back in? Because you're stupid.
Well, Gene, I semi-agree with you, but in a way I don't, because there's no perfect answer to everything. We all know that. Listen, there's always this is a synthesis. The old Hegel dialectic, the thesis, the antithesis, and the synthesis. But the thing is, if you have a city council that keeps a city manager that is not doing the job, it's a lot easier to bounce city councilors than it is to bounce a mayor.
Correct.
That's a fact. That's a fact. It's a lot easier to bounce them than bounce a mayor. So councilors can be held accountable far easier because you don't need a large turnout. You just need a pissed off. Like in this time, we didn't have a large turnout, but when people get pissed off, you almost unseated a 3-term mayor.
That's right.
Who had a lot of money, but the rest of the people fell asleep at the switch.
Yep.
I think that CJ's 100% right. We can't do Worcester. Worcester fundamentally, they gave away their power. You've got to have power to affect a city manager. Now, what's going to happen? In Worcester, they complain about the city manager. There's a lot of problems with city managers sometimes. They had a lot of problems with their pension system.
Right.
And that's because they didn't have the mechanisms of control. But the thing is, with a city manager, this guy's hired for one deal. It's like hiring a plumber. You hire a plumber, the guy don't fix your plumbing, you don't pay him. You get rid of him. You see you later. You can't fix my plumbing. I'm not paying you. Get out of here. And the thing is that when you hire a city manager, he's there expressly to manage the finances of the city. Period.
Yeah, but you see,
he doesn't cut ribbons. He doesn't march in parades. He takes care of the finances, and if he doesn't take care of the finances adequately, it's up to the council to remove him. It's not. It's up to the people to go to the city council, pack the council chamber, jump up and down, scream, yell, do everything you want. Because, by the way, we got a constitutional decision. We got a Supreme Court decision that we have the right to do that in Massachusetts.
That's right.
We call them anything we want.
You see, here's the
Go
biggest
down
problem.
there and put the heat on them. Have a recall. Do whatever you want. Bounce them out. It's easier to get rid of a city councilor than it is to get rid of a mayor.
But here's the problem. You can see how even after an election like this, you have a city councilor that is still self-serving. He didn't get the message. Cliff Ponte came out with this plan for a city manager. He didn't come out with that. Michelle Dion came out with that. Michelle has been talking about that for years.
Yep.
Okay? But like everything else, Cliff's going to say, oh, look at what I'm doing. But he's doing shit. He's doing shit. And in my opinion, Michelle Dion should be city council president.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly with that one.
Not Cliff Ponte. Not take the second seat. She should be president.
Yeah, no, you're right, Nelson, and we will take up, and we appreciate what you sent us, but we don't. I want to give that sufficient time. We're going to do that on the next show. No, you're right. We can't abdicate power. The city manager now becomes basically even more powerful than the mayor.
Right.
So it doesn't make any sense. There has to be checks and balances, and that's it. Yeah, the only problem
with that, James, is the mayor is automatically a member of the school committee.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be a de facto member. Okay? But because of the number of people on our school committee, instead of it being an odd number, it's an even number. So the mayor's vote is always required.
He's ex officio chairman.
It should be, but it's not.
He's ex officio chairman. To me, it's a conflict of interest. But listen, the problem with the charter, James, is that the charter sucks. We oppose the charter. Danny Robillard, the only good charter member who wrote a minority opinion, the only one to vote against the charter. For people who remember this charter, what happened was we voted to update the charter. They did not update the charter. They threw the charter in the barrel.
That's right.
burned
And I'm
it.
going to quote. Let me quote the consultant. I am not going to pick and choose throughout this charter. It is easier to just start fresh. That's what he said. That's not what we voted for, but that's what he said. And Mike Mioza goes, yay!
Yeah, well, Mike Mioza went that way because he's a politician. And listen, number one, the charter commissioners who were elected by the people, except for Danny Robillard, all went along with it.
That's right.
And they should have said, no, you're no longer the consultant. You're out of here. Because what you're saying is, I don't want to pick and choose and do some work to rewrite sections. I'm going to cut and paste from other charters, which is exactly what he did. He cut and pasted from charters all over the state.
That's right.
That's what they did. He didn't do shit.
That's right. And he got paid
he's not conning anybody. And anybody that worked on that charter commission, and what they did was they created not a charter for the people. They created a charter for the politicians.
That's right.
We can't change the charter. Who is the people that recommend and review the charter? They're appointed by the council and the mayor. They're not elected by the people under the new charter.
That's right.
You can't get anything done because they're going to elect all their friends to keep the power.
Just like happened on the review committee.
We have to take, and if we want to do anything with the charter in 2027, we have to put a ballot question in to immediately scrap the charter, elect charter commissioners like we did before, and create a charter that will be fully vetted and voted by the people again.
We don't even have to wait that long. All we have to do is have the city council send a resolution to the mayor to petition the state house for a change in charter, change in form of government to a type E charter. Once that's approved by the state house, they send it back to the people of Fall River who vote on it. Can be a special election or otherwise. Once it's approved, that's it.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
Well, number one, you got to get a mayor that's going to support it. And if the mayor doesn't support it, what do?
Yeah, well, I don't know
what
Coogan's position is, but I got a pretty good idea if Carol Foyola wants to run for mayor.
It's just like the bullshit in the current charter, which says that if the mayor's budget doesn't get approved in 28 days, it's automatically approved. That's bullshit. If it's not approved in 28 days or 45 days or whatever number of days it is, guess what? It's not approved. You don't get it.
Listen,
you don't like it? Tough shit.
Yeah. Well, they'll get away with it as long as, and therein lies the problem. We have a system where the people who are supposed to be in charge cannot be in charge because these politicians have created such a power base that they make you, they don't represent you. They represent themselves like Pelosi did, like all these people do. They're going to get jobs in the housing authority. They're going to get stock market tips like Pelosi did. They're not representing you. And they make it difficult for you. You know what they say to the people they were elected to represent? Pick a finger. You take us to court. Take us to the Supreme Court.
But the city says
sue us for us to make a change. We're not going to do anything to benefit you.
Right.
You sue us, and nobody's got the money to do that. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm buying another Mega Millions ticket.
But here's the out that every administration's had, that every city council has had, and that the city has had. You voted for this charter. And if you didn't get your ass out and vote, you allowed this charter to be implemented. So it's your fault, not mine. I voted
you're being rhetorical because I know you didn't vote for it, neither did I.
That's right.
But you're right. The people. Well, look, But the people are good at believing BS. What did I say at the beginning of the show? Everybody listened to Nancy Pelosi. And okay, now she's worth 413 million. She outperformed the Dow by 17 million percent. 17 million percent. 17 million. I'm going to say that again. Why? She's not corrupt? Of course she's corrupt. Of course she's corrupt. The mainstream media, corrupt again. Stephanopoulos lied. They edited videos for the Democratic candidate. They took her word salad and tried to make a little sense of it. But now, again, another executive is going to step down and resign because they edited Trump's remarks on January 6th. He edited out, go peacefully and patriotically, and they put in fight, 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 and then they could run the con that he was inciting a insurrection, which was an absolute falsehood. Now the guy's resigned 5 years too late. Yeah, James, but that's the problem. Not enough people go out. So who gets in? People who have, super voter bases. Michelle has always been a great counselor, but she kind of doesn't get involved in every little thing. Some of these politicians, they'll appear at the opening of an envelope. You tell them I'm going to open up an envelope. It's an election year. They'll show up when you open up an envelope.
But then again, Andrew wants to be mayor, so that's why he's at the opening of an envelope.
Yeah, so maybe that's his master plan. Maybe he says, maybe I'll just talk about the Type E. Then if it's not going to be done by the next election, maybe I'm ready to run for mayor again. I don't know, but whatever it is, the Worcester method is not right. But the reality is that the people do not, as we always say, they just don't come out to vote. You can't allow these people. Andrew Raposo's got a base. He's a school principal, Espírito Santo School. He's got a lot of children there, their parents, their extended families all know him. Oh, Mr. Raposo, how you doing? Oh, that's my niece's principal. Oh, that's my sister's daughter's thing. They get votes. Pat Casey used to get in. Why? She was a dog groomer. She was in all kinds of organizations, Stop Obnoxious Smells, whatever organization they had in the South End, she was in. So that gives her a bunch of people who are going to make a check mark for her. And they get in on low turnout elections. Now, if you had 20,000 people coming out, those people are going to be outweighed by the people who are going to go there to vote because they're pissed, or they say, this candidate seems like he's going to work for me. The low turnout elections always favor
the incumbents.
People with a larger vote, incumbents and people who have a voter base. Well, we'll look at some of our worst counselors. Why did they get in? Unfortunately, we're dating ourselves. CJ and I are old enough to remember. Why did Joe Camara get into office, and why did Paul Hart and Joe Camara get into office? Durfee basketball player.
That's right.
They played on a championship team for Durfee, which is good. Congratulations. That's why they got in. When they ran for office and got in, I heard that from everybody that voted for them. Oh, yeah, they played for Durfee. And this is the problem. People go, when they vote for these people, they don't vote for, they don't make an intelligent vote. They don't look at their platforms. They don't see if they've got any semblance of political acumen. They don't.
Yes, he did, Stevie. He posted it on his signs throughout the city. I corrected him several times, and he was getting very offended at me for saying he was not running for re-election.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to go to the Supreme Court on that one. I don't know. Let's get a SCOTUS decision on that one.
I know.
If you get in through the back door, but were you elected? Well, maybe SCOTUS is going to weigh in. This is like if a tree falls in a forest, does it make a sound if there's no one there to hear it? I understand what he's saying, but I don't think. Well, thank you very much, Nelson. I appreciate that, and remember all veterans. It was an honor to serve my country, and that's going to be my day tomorrow. Everybody that knows me knows me. Don't bother me tomorrow. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to go to my father's grave and clear off his World War II veteran plaque, and I'm going to come home and just chill out tonight. And I'll open up a bottle of 18-year-old scotch, and I'll have a drink to all my friends, both here and not here, and remember the fact that what we should all remember, that everybody who was in the military all gave some, and some gave all. And that's what it's about. And like I said at the beginning of the show, it's a national disgrace that we still have veterans sleeping in the streets, killing themselves, and we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on illegals, and our entire state representative delegate. I'm sorry, I have to be clear now. There is a new state rep up there. He wasn't here for that vote. But at the time, our entire state representative delegation voted against housing preferences for veterans. That's why Carol Fiola and especially Alan Sylvia, he's a veteran. He voted for money for illegals, but he didn't vote. And he said he didn't make that vote. We showed it on the air. We showed the roll call. They should not be in office. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. And they'll all be wishing everybody a happy Veterans Day. And they'll all be marching in the Veterans Day parade. That's why I don't go to those things, because I'd probably get arrested for yelling at
I was talking to somebody who goes every year, not because it's an event that is something that is drawing. It's out of respect for the veterans. And she said that the Veterans Parade is not what it used to be. And to stand out in the freezing cold, she only does that for the veterans. She doesn't do that for the parade, because the parade is a joke. So.
Yeah, and Gene, yeah, you're right, Gene. He not only voted for that. Yeah, you're right. Put that up. For shelters too. I don't know what happens to these guys when they become politicians. They're so worried about pissing off the Speaker of the House. They're so worried about getting appointed to a committee. What little moral compass they had, they lose.
No question about it.
It's disgraceful. And when a veteran does that, the Marine Corps should give him a dishonorable discharge. They should change it for making a vote like that. He dishonored the Corps.
Yeah.
For making that vote. I mean, it's a disgrace.
It is.
It's a disgrace. I mean, it kills me to see this, and it kills me to watch them march in these parades. Because like I said, nobody respects veterans more than I do, because I'm one of them. And the fact,
Gene, he's already said he's not going to answer any questions because reporters aren't fair to him. Get over it. That's what I said.
Who's going to answer questions? What are you talking about?
Alan won't answer questions because the press isn't fair to him.
Oh no! If for once the press might be accurate and say you made those votes, we all know you made those votes, Alan.
That's right. We got the vote count directly from the House.
He's a coward. He's being a
Right.
coward. You know, stand up. You want to vote for the Speaker of the House? Kiss his ass and get some committee. Well, be man enough to say, "Hey, I did it because I'm not going to piss off the Speaker of the House. I don't want an office in the basement, and I don't want to be on. I don't want to have no committee so I can get a stipend. I did it for myself, and I said to the veterans, pick a finger, and I'm one of them."
It's always something.
What are you going to do? There's no excuse for what he did.
Yep.
And he can hide all he wants. He'll have to live with that.
Yep. Thank you all for watching. Have a happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. And remember, stay safe, stay angry, and hold these douchebag politicians accountable. Have a great day. And remember, your trash pickup is delayed a day this week. Have a great evening.